Hello, fellow responsibly armed Americans. My name is Tim Schmidt. I'm the founder and president of the United States Concealed Carry Association, and I'm also sometimes known as Tactical Tim. And I'm here today for another issue of the Tactical Tim weekly video blog. And we got so much great response on the last Tactical Tim that I decided to have another guest in today. And the guest sitting to my right is Steve Fischer. Steve is the director of the USCCA Instructor Training Program. And that is a relatively new venture that we've launched, probably, about a year ago, Steve?
1 year ago, February of 2013.
Yep, and so needless to say, we've had tremendous traction, and Steve is heading that thing up. So, Steve, welcome to Tactical Tim.
Thanks, Tim. It's great to be here.
All right. Really the main purpose of this video today is just to give everyone a little glimpse of just what we've put into this training program. Why are we doing this? Get a lot of questions like that from fellow members and subscribers. So I'm going to start out by asking Steve if you could just tell me a little bit about your background and how you even got involved with Delta Defense and the USCCA.
It's kind of a fun story. My background, came out of high school, went to college, joined the Army ROTC program, eventually ended up becoming an enlisted soldier in the United States Army Infantry, HUA. During my course of enlistment, I also was a drill sergeant and an instructor at the Drill Sergeant Academy. The last part of my tour with the Army was spent as a reservist. And as a reservist, I had lots of free time to take some of the high-speed training that I had received from the Army, and I applied it as a martial arts instructor. So I got over 20 years worth of full-time experience as a martial arts instructor, and one of the really cool things that happened to me one day was that this really tall guy came walking in with his awesome family and started grilling me on how I could help him to become a defender. And to make the long story short, the gentleman to my left here is now a certified black belt, as is his family, his wife and his children as well. And in the course of our relationship, I was again blessed, not just in knowing him, but being invited to be a part of the United States Concealed Carry Association.
Cool. Well, I thank you, Steve, for that. I do feel the need to expand a little bit on that story because what Steve told you isn't completely true. So my oldest son, Tim Jr., actually it was true, but my oldest son, Tim Jr., at the time my wife had him, he was probably, 10 years old, and she had him enrolled in dance classes. And one day Tim comes home from school and he's like, "Dad, I hate dance. Can I do something else?" And I'm thinking, "Yes, son, I shall take care of this." And so that was when I took him downtown to Cho's Martial Arts, and actually, Tani took him there first, and she said, "Tim, you got to check this place out. I think it's legit." I met one of the instructors there. He's a really great guy. His name is Steve, and so I show up there, and Steve's like, he kind of gives me the look and says, "Well, you should do this too if your son is going to." And I had no idea what I was getting into. I figured, it was just going to be like dance, but with, kicking and punching. I really didn't think that, but nonetheless, I had no clue that I was going to literally change my life and spend the next 6 years and, after a knee surgery, eventually earn a black belt. And it was an amazing experience, and I have Steve to thank for it. So all right, enough about that. Let's get the instructor training program. But I guess before we get to the actual nitty gritty of that, Steve, now that you've been with Delta now for 3 years?
3 years.
3 years. So I guess what do you like most about the Delta family and the USCCA?
You answered the question right there in your question. The Delta family and the USCCA. It's family. Everybody that works here believes in the same stuff. Family first. And what are we going to do to be personally responsible for the health and safety of our families? So
awesome.
Every day you come to work. You wake up in the morning and you're excited to go to work. You work here all day and somebody tells you it's after 5, close to 6 o'clock, and it's time to go home, and you don't even realize that the whole day went by. You're in the right place.
Cool. Excellent. That's fantastic. All right. So now the instructor training program. I know that this has been a labor of love for you, Steve. And from my experience, when you get when you get the person in the right position, it just you just get massive traction. And so, if you can fill in the viewers on how many current instructors, affiliate instructors we have, how many certified instructors we have, and just some of the details of the program.
Like we talked about earlier, February of 2013, we launched what we called at the time, and we still do, the United States Concealed Carry Association Instructor Toolkit. So what the toolkit is, it consists of, and some of these, may I use some of these props?
Oh yeah, please bring some props.
Many people are probably familiar with the Concealed Carry and Home Defense Fundamentals book. Well, this book, it's award-winning. I mean, the quality of the book, not just the content and information, but the graphical representation, the photography, the images that are in here, top of the line, hands down. And this book, we took it and placed it into a PowerPoint presentation and offered it to instructors around the nation as a classroom support materials. So not only do they have the PowerPoint now, but the book that supports that, where it was birthed from. Currently we're approaching 1,400 instructors nationwide that are using these materials in just 1 year.
Wow, that's amazing.
And out of those 1,400 people, we have them in all 50 states, and here's the cool part. We also have people using our materials in Puerto Rico and Guam.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I didn't even know that.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Cool. So I guess I'm trying to think.
Did you want me to talk about the certified?
Yeah, talk about the certification. I was actually, Steve invited me to give a short presentation at I think it was the very first certification class when it was in West Bend.
Right across the street.
And when I experienced that, it was very humbling because we had just in the last, I think it had only been like 6 or 7 months since we started the entire program, and then we had like 70?
Yeah.
70 instructors from all across the country flew to little old West Bend, Wisconsin to do this 3-day certification program. And the type of people that showed up were phenomenal, just fantastic teachers, fantastic trainers, and I was overwhelmed. I'm like, holy cow, this is actually the real thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, talk a little bit about the certification.
Well, the certification was born from the toolkit and the feedback that we were getting from the instructors that are running our materials. They were asking for more. They wanted to know if we would be willing to teach them the intent of the materials, how they could run them in their own classes, either exclusively or to support or augment what they're already teaching.
Okay.
So we put the program together, and like you said, about 70 people from all across the nation came. As a matter of fact, we now have 164 certified, USCCA certified instructors throughout the nation, and they live in 31 states. So we're spread out all over the place again, and as a matter of fact, one of the certified guys lives in Puerto Rico. Huh. So the attention that we're getting has been incredible. And the feedback that we're getting since then is only helping us to learn how we can support instructors nationwide even better and better as each and every day, week, and month goes by.
Wow. That's so cool, Steve. So if I had to ask you a question, what are the top 3 things that you think make our instructor training program so good?
That's an easy question to answer, but I know that I have limited time, so I'm going to try to condense
less than a half an hour.
Less than a half an hour. Let's start with I'll just tell you what the 3 things are that make our program the best. It starts with the materials, hands down. When we launched the instructor toolkit a year ago, again, that's what birthed the certification program. So the materials, the book, the PowerPoint that comes from the book. We give really cool classroom posters here. This one here, if I unfold it, it shows you the picture of a Glock. It's a cutaway, so that you can place this up, and instructors can place this up in their classrooms, and it kind of gives a very clear and high quality representation of the functions of a Glock. We offer clothing. We believe that in order to be a quality instructor, you have to look like a professional, not just be professional.
Right.
Because people's first impressions are lasting impressions. So we got high quality shirts and hats that instructors can wear in their classrooms as well. Another thing that makes our program stand head and shoulders above anything that's out there is the support. People can call in and they're going to talk to human beings, and they'll get responses to their inquiries on a very quick basis. We just finished designing or making our instructor portal functional. So if anybody goes to USCCA-instructors.com, you can log in there and read all about our program and find the instructors that we have running our materials. The support that we offer also includes the instructors that have gone through our certification course. They have an opportunity to list their classes on our instructor site, so people can search them by location, zip code, city, and find the classes that are being offered by these guys. The speed of execution is huge here at the United States Concealed Carry Association. So we try to be able to attend to our customers, and in this case, our instructors, as rapidly as we possibly can. So the support also includes, we've got a Director of State Compliance who's in touch with all 50 states on a regular basis to keep current with what the concealed carry laws are nationwide. We've developed support or supplements, PowerPoint supplements that we include and send out to instructors that are running materials nationwide as well. Wow. So it's all pretty cool stuff. And then the third and final aspect is what we just started leading into, Tim, where the reason that I invited Mr. Schmidt to our first class, and we videoed that, thank you, Scott, and we've included that in our following two classes, is a presentation on how to market and run a business, a successful firearms training business. So when you look at the reach of the USCCA, one of the things that I explained to the instructors is how many people we're in contact with through the concealed carry report that's put out in people's email boxes every Friday. It's like 1 million plus people that get that, and that's a high quality report. Speaking of high quality, the Concealed Carry magazine, Kevin Michalowski, the associate or the executive editor for the magazine, is also one of the USCCA training counselors that attends our certification courses. And that magazine that we produce, everybody that knows this, is the best magazine hands down out there. People that are teaching concealed carry classes need to put these magazines out in their classrooms to get their students to understand how important it is to stay current with whatever is going on in the concealed carry world. The membership speaks for itself. The insurance, if you're going to carry, we want people to be insured. Make sure that you're defending yourself with your firearm, but defending yourself in the courtroom as well, and we've got your back for that. So all of these things, the marketing, the support, and the materials that we have, I think makes our program the best that's out there.
And Steve, it's been so neat to watch it evolve over the years. And one of the theme of the USCCA is that we educate, train, and insure responsibly armed Americans. And the education and the insurance we had pretty much dialed in, but the training was really the area that we needed to improve. And you and your team have done a pretty impressive job. Most exciting thing for me is just seeing what the future will hold. I envision 5,000, maybe 10,000 USCCA trainers using our material, which will be amazing, fantastic.
There's 100,000 people that are certified NRA instructors. Okay. So there's a lot of people that we
then we should have 100,000 as well.
That's what I'm thinking. And that kind of leads me into one of the stories.
That was the last question I wanted to ask was, if you had any interesting stories to tell.
Oh yeah, I have great stories to tell. I mean, going back to the summer of 2013 when I got a phone call from a board member from the NRA's Training and Education Committee telling me how incredible our materials are. Okay? That was step one. Step two, when we talk about the NRA, was that they sent their full-time training counselor coordinator to our first class here in West Bend, Wisconsin.
That's right, I remember that, yeah.
You met the gentleman, and he was there, and he admitted at the beginning he was skeptical. He wanted to see what we were doing and how we were doing that, and when it was all over with, I believe that we did a great job of impressing not only everybody that was in the class, but even so the NRA, full-time NRA training counselor. Wow. And then the third part, when we're talking about NRA, is that while I was out at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas walking the floor, I got stopped by a gentleman out there who recognized me because I was blessed with being on the July cover of the July issue. And he said, "Hey, you're that guy from the USCCA, aren't you, with the training?" And I'm like, "I am." And he introduced himself as a full-time lobbyist for the NRA.
Excellent.
And a week later, he sat in our classroom in Chicago. And 3 days after sitting in our classroom, he shook my hand and said, "You guys are hands down going to be one of the most powerful tools that I'm using as I go from state to state lobbying on behalf of those that are advocating the Second Amendment rights."
Wow.
So, I mean, telling those types of stories tells us that, I mean, I feel very validated and, again, very lucky to be in a position that I'm in.
Wow.
So.
Well, Steve, you know, one of the critical factors in any person taking on any endeavor is that you have to have belief in what you're doing, and clearly you believe in the instructor program, and that makes me so happy and proud that you're the guy in that seat. So I guess with that, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on the show today. I appreciate it. Hopefully this cleared up any of our viewers' questions about the USCCA Instructor program. I personally think it's one of the most exciting new developments in the USCCA here. Really doing a good job of finishing up that third part of our three-pronged service for our members. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. Tactical Tim here, Tim Schmidt. And until next time, take care and stay safe.